What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing something a little different than the usual videos on this channel by going back to Battlefront 2015 and looking at 10 different blasters that they could bring from that game over into Battlefront 2. Now, I'm sure most of you would agree that there's a glaring issue in Battlefront 2 right now with a lack of content, not necessarily when it comes to heroes and stuff like that, as obviously we have just received 3 new heroes as well as Geonosis, and we are also very close to receiving Anakin as well as the new large-scale game mode. But in terms of things like blasters and even star cards to a degree, we definitely are lacking a little bit on that front. DICE did announce way back when the game came out with one of the videos that they put out. In fact, it may have actually been one of the launch trailers, to be honest, but they did mention in one of those videos that we would be getting more blasters added to the game, yet here we are roughly 16 months after launch and we still only have the 4 base weapons for each class in the game. Now, for me personally, I never really worried that much about the blasters, and even though I always agreed that we definitely could use more, I never really cared that much, as I just didn't really think it would make that much of a difference, since back then we were much more worried about getting new heroes and maps instead. But now we have received that stuff we wanted, and with even more on the way, I think it has started to stand out a lot more than ever that we really are in need of some new blasters in Battlefront 2. So we are going to go through 10 different blasters that I would love to see ported over from Battlefront 2015 into Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, this footage is all on PC and I'm a complete potato these days with a keyboard and mouse, so excuse the shocking aim that you'll see throughout the clips. Definitely feel free to roast me down in the comments. So the first blaster I'm going to mention is the T-21B, which is one of my favourite weapons in Battlefront 2015. This one would probably either go in the Assault or Specialist class, as it is more of a long-range rifle style of blaster. It's similar to the EL-16 in a way, with just a slower rate of fire and a bit more damage as well. So I'd say it's right in between an assault rifle and a sniper, so it could go in either class. However, I'd probably lean towards the Specialist a little bit more. The next weapon I'd love to see added to the game is the K16 Briar pistol, which I would most likely place in the officer class, as it is a pistol style blaster. This one is very unique in that it has a secondary fire similar to that of Lay's blaster, although without the lock-on feature, so it definitely wouldn't be nearly as overpowered. Its regular fire is pretty similar to that of the base officer weapon in Battlefront 2, however with that alternate fire mode, I think it'd definitely be a very unique blaster to bring to the game. The next one I'd love to see added is the CJ9BO rifle. Now, this one would probably be an assault weapon again, seeing as it is a rifle, and it's pretty similar to the EL-16 again. However, this one is semi-automatic instead, with a slightly slower rate of fire. It does have a pretty unique ability too. Its melee attack is actually sort of a shock weapon that does one-hit kill enemies, so I think this would be pretty cool to see, as the one-hit kill is very strong in a one-on-one. However, the slow animation does make you very vulnerable, so it's not a very good thing to use around a group of enemies, so I don't think we need to worry about it being overpowered or anything like that. Moving on, we have the DLT-19, and this one is actually already in the game for the Death Troopers. However, theirs is a bit more powerful than the regular blaster, so it wouldn't be an exact copy as far as I know. This one would definitely be put in the heavy class, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it may already be one of the base blasters. However, those are locked to specific factions and eras, and so it would be pretty cool to be able to use this on every map, because a lot of people do really love the look and feel of the DLT-19. Next on the list, we have the DL-18, which is a semi-automatic pistol style blaster with a very high rate of fire, very similar to Lando's X8 Night Sniper, just without the heat vision and a little bit less damage as well. Again, this would probably go in the officer class, as it is a pistol, and I think it would be a good one to rival the Blurg and the SE-44C, as it might cause people to use those blasters less, as we all know that when you play the officer, you pretty much have to use either of those weapons, so I think it would be cool to see some more fun weapons to use in the officer class. Another blaster I'd love to see added would be the DT-29, and this is actually the same blaster that Director Krennic uses in the game, which is a very unique revolver style blaster, as it does only have 6 shots before having to reload, which you can see by the circles around the crosshairs. I'm not too sure whether this would go in the officer class, seeing as it is a pistol, or whether it could even go in the assault class as well, seeing as it is a bit more useful at a longer range, but I think it would be very cool to see this in the game, as it is a very unique weapon due to the revolver style, and I think we definitely need as much variation in the game as we can get, so the uniqueness of this weapon would definitely be very well received. Next on the list, we have the CA-87, and this one is a shotgun style blaster, which we don't really have in the game right now as a regular blaster anyway. Obviously there is the Vanguard ability, however that is an ability, so I think it would be fun to see an actual shotgun in the game as a choosable blaster. Seeing as the assault class does already have the Vanguard, I'd probably give this one to the heavy class, seeing as they are well suited to those close quarters areas, and I definitely think it'd be fun to try and rush the objective as a heavy with all of their explosives and a shotgun, as I personally think their current blasters are some of the worst blasters in the game. Now, next we have the EE4, which again is actually in the game already, however it's only available for the Specialist Infiltration ability, and so it's kind of similar to the Vanguard in a way that it's not really a proper blaster in Battlefront 2. This would probably be best suited to either the assault or heavy classes, and I feel like this one would be super easy for them to add, seeing as it literally already is in the game and it probably wouldn't need that many changes other than maybe some slight damage changes or something along the lines of that. Now, another blaster that is already in the game for Bossk is the Ralby V10. However, his blaster in Battlefront 2015 was definitely very different to his blaster in Battlefront 2, so it wouldn't be too similar, meaning it would still add a little bit of variety. This blaster is technically a rifle or a sniper rifle depending on how you look at it, and so it probably would be put in the assault or specialist class if I did have the choice. It has a much faster rate of fire than the Ralby in Battlefront 2, and this was definitely a very fun blaster, so I definitely would love to see it added as well. Now, last but definitely not least, we have the iconic DL44, which is of course Han Solo's blaster, and again, it is already in the game, so I feel like this would be another easy one to add compared to some of the other blasters on the list. Now, obviously you don't want it to be quite as powerful as Han, so it definitely could do with a slight nerf, but I definitely would love to use this more often, as it's probably my favourite blaster in the whole Star Wars universe, so I'd love to see it added as a regular blaster in Battlefront 2. Now, before we do finish up, some honourable mentions are Lando's X8 Night Sniper and Boba Fett's EE3, which again would be easier to add, I assume. However, I left them out purely because they are a little more unique, and I thought I'd love to keep those blasters unique for those specific characters, although in saying that, I definitely wouldn't be mad if they added these as well. So that is going to be it for the blasters, guys. I want to make it clear that this isn't as simple as a copy and paste to get these weapons into the game, and so it is very unlikely that this will happen anytime soon, if it does even happen at all. But I just wanted to share some of these ideas with you guys, and who knows, one of the developers may even see this and realise just how much we all love to get some blasters. If you guys did enjoy the video, then make sure to leave a like down below. Not only does it help support the channel, but it does also show me that you guys do enjoy these kinds of videos. I'm also thinking of making a 5 maps from Battlefront 2015 type of video very similar to this one, and so if you are keen to see something like that, then definitely let me know down below. If you are new to the channel, then definitely feel free to subscribe and make sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any more Battlefront 2 guides or live streams. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.